Oh, see, there you go.
And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to some Kayfabe chats here on the Pierce Wrestling channel. This is where we chit chat a little about little old lady wrestling. This week, of course, I'm your host, JPO Jordan Pierce Owens. I'm joined by my brother from the same mother, DonMega, everybody.
What up? Let's talk some wrestling.
Oh, man. A lot of interesting stuff has happened over the last couple of weeks. Of course, we've had a couple big pay-per-views, Extreme Rules, the horror show. We won't go too much about it.
It was the horror show at Extreme Rules.
And originally, it was the opposite way, wasn't it? Originally, for a quick second,
I would think the pay-per-view should have been Extreme Rules : a name. Yes, I don't know why it turned into the horror show at Extreme Rules, and of course, we had to have it told to us every 10 seconds by the commentary team exactly that way. You know, what my favorite is when they do the interviews with the wrestlers, and then the wrestlers have to sit there and be like, at the horror show at Extreme Rules, I'm coming for you. It's like, oh my God. What is up with the subtitles? I think we talked about this like last month after we talked Backlash and the whole greatest wrestling match ever. Why do we need subtitles all of a sudden with our pay-per-views? Like, it makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I feel like we had a discussion for Backlash. We're having it again here at Extreme Rules. I almost feel like, I don't know, they don't feel confident enough that they have to give it some sort of weird moniker, even though Extreme Rules is already a gimmick. It's Extreme Rules. Like, you already have a gimmick. But just like the greatest wrestling match, now it's, the horror show. Like, I don't know. It's hype. And we'll be talking more about the hype here because obviously horror show had some interesting things happening on it. New tag champs, first of all. Let's start out kind of nice. Good match. Cesaro Nakamura, I'm a fan. Maybe two of the most underutilized guys to a degree, you could argue. I'm fine with it. I like New Day, but I'm totally fine with them not always having the title. So what do you think about new tag champs?
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. New Day have had it 8 times. We understand they're one of the best tag teams out there. But yeah, I'm a little tired of them always having the belts. This is a newer team kind of slapped together. I wish Cesaro could get his moment as a singles guy once again. I feel like they just don't know what to do with him, so they keep chucking him in a tag team. But I like him and Shinsuke together. They got good chemistry, and I thought the match was great. This was actually one of the highlights of the night for me. I love the tables match. They had a really great match, and I'm very happy that we have new tag champs. So it's very, very cool.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, good match. We start off good on this show, and then I don't know, Bailey over Cross. We got no Apollo, no MVP, unfortunately, and we still don't. Even on Raw, I thought it was weird that we're still not really, doing anything with this U.S. title. They're just more holding it back again. So where do you see this finally leading? I mean, are they going to have to strip Apollo? Are they hoping he can come back? COVID, right?
Do you know anything that maybe I don't know or the audience doesn't know? What the hell is up with Apollo? Like, what, he was on Raw one week and then not the next, and not for the next several weeks. And I thought they were leaving him off on purpose so they could introduce the new title and show that MVP has it. And then leading to the pay-per-view, Apollo beats him and takes that new title, for himself. But then, yeah, like you said, at the pay-per-view, they come out and they're just like, yeah, he's not here, so I'm the champ. See you later. Yeah, and I was like, what the hell was that? And it's continued into Raw. It almost seems like they're switching gears now to like MVP and Mustafa Ali possibly. And it's like, okay, so we're just bypassing Apollo. Like, what? Do you know anything about Apollo's situation? What is going on?
I heard the heavy scuttlebutt, as me and you always say, is that he probably has COVID. I mean, because he wasn't even there. He missed the week before too. He was not there on the go home. He wasn't there on the after, and it's just weird because I don't know if they're hoping that he'll be back soon, because it feels like, okay, do something with the title, have MVP be the champ then, because it's like they're not even fully running with that yet either.
No.
So yeah,
they're not. That's my speculation as well, is that he got COVID because he missed the 2 previous Raws before the pay-per-view, and I think they thought 2 weeks would have been enough time to come back. But once again, we know that most of this stuff is pre-recorded. So if they were recording literally 2 Raws and maybe even Extreme Rules within a week of each other, it would make sense why it seems like he's out for such a long time, because it's spread out over multiple weeks of being pre-recorded. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he comes back here soon, because it does seem very weird because they're not really explaining it either, of like where the hell he's at. It's like, I don't know how he's there and then not there one week, and then all of a sudden not there at a pay-per-view, and it's okay and he's still the champ. Like, I wish that they would just come flat out and just say like, oh, he re-injured his knee from a couple months ago when he was supposed to be in Money in the Bank or something, just to give us an out, and see what happens. Because I want to know what your opinion is, because we love talking about titles and their looks. I think the new U.S. title looks amazing. I'm very happy that there is a new design, because that belt is super dated. The old belt is super dated. It's the last one that really they haven't done anything with, and I've been waiting years for them to do something new with it. I honestly thought when they did finally do it, it would look like the heavyweight title, and it would just be red, white, and blue behind the WWE logo, and just do it that way. But I'm glad it's got a very unique design with the eagle and everything. I think it looks really cool. But it's being squandered right now by not being used, and just, like you said, just make it official and put it on MVP if you need to. So somebody's officially a champ, especially if they're running forward with this beatdown club, or what the hell are they calling it? Hurt Business, the Hurt Business. That's it.
I think Beatdown Club was their TNA name.
Yeah. So the Hurt Business officially. Now that Shelton Benjamin's with them and he's the 24/7 champ, and then you could have, MVP with the US belt, and you're building up this new stable. But yeah, we'll see where it goes, but hopefully Apollo's all right.
Yeah.
What do you think about that belt though?
Oh yeah, but no, yeah, you go back to the belt. Yeah, no, I'm cool with it, man. As you said, we've had the other one for a while, so it's not like I wasn't in love with it by any means. I didn't hate the old one, but yeah, I'm totally fine with the new updated design. Yeah, oddly enough, the only titles I dislike now, I think, are the world titles. Just that big ass W just bothers me. There's like no thought. Doesn't look nice. It's up there with the Cena Spinner belt as one of my least favorite world titles.
Ooh, I love them.
Finally, after the non-match of Apollo MVP, we go into, well, you talked about it before, the eye match, eye for an eye. We're all wondering, are we going to get a CGI moment? Are we going to get, I thought they were going to cop out with it, but no, they took his eye out. You saw a little ping pong ball or whatever, little glimpses of it. Again, I feel like just like with the greatest match ever, they backed themselves into a corner. I'll give Mysterio and Rollins credit. They worked a pretty fun match up to it. Like they kind of tease it, and like those two are extremely talented. So the match itself, to a degree, wasn't that bad. But then just the ending is it's. I obviously you have to suspend your disbelief. We both know that very well. But then when you start getting to attempted murder and eye out of its sockets, I can't roll with it. I can't. Yeah. So it was just it's an LOL moment. I don't know. And then he vomits too on top of it.
I loved on SmackDown that Miz and Morrison were like, 4 Seth Rollins vomits. I love their scale. I agree. The gimmick was stupid. It was stupid from the announcement. I was like, did they really just say that when they announced it? I was like, it's one thing to call it an eye for an eye match just because of the history. But then when they were like, I'm going to rip your eyeball out, and they're like, oh my God, they're really saying this? And I didn't even notice the eyeball when I watched it live. Like, it took me to see the replay and then obviously catch the glimpse of just the little whatever ping pong ball or whatever that was there, because when it happened, it looked like the ref just stopped the match and it was just what it was. And I was like, well, that's kind of a cop out. They didn't really do anything, but then they showed it. Obviously, it had to be Ray. He can wear a mask with the little blinder over it and he'll be all right, so they can kind of get away with it, even though they're like, oh, luckily you got to the doctors quick enough and they could reattach his retina and all this shit. It's like, okay. But no, the gimmick was stupid. I don't like that they're trying to do it again with like Murphy doing it to Alistair on Monday. I'm just like, come on, let's move away from the whole I'm pushing your eyeball into a steel step. Yeah. Yeah, the little one there. So crazy. But yeah, it was a dumb stipulation. I hope they move away from it. I didn't like the setup to it. I didn't like the payoff. Now we got Dominic again, mad because they hurt his daddy. And I can't get into Dominic either. Just something just seems off about him.
His promos need help, man.
Promos suck.
He's not selling it.
He's just sloppy. And I don't know, man. It's going to take a lot of work as much as they're trying to make it happen.
I
And
thought it was an odd choice too, because even when like Mysterio was going for him, like Mysterio's such a good. He's like almost the epitome. He's almost like Cena. Like he's always been such a good guy. Like, is he really trying to take out a human being's eye? Like even that was odd to me. And what is the end game too? You know, it can't be Dominic in a singles match. Maybe a tag match with them. I don't even know what the end game is.
eye for an
This
eye.
one. Yeah, I did enjoy. What was it? Oh, somebody in the audience for Dolph and Drew when Dolph was like, "I got an idea." I think someone yelled, "Eye for an eye."
Horrible. I hope we never
Uh,
see another one of those matches.
Well, and similar to the U.S. title, we then had a non-end to the World Women's title. I hated this too. This is why I think we need a general manager, even if it's just like Road Dogg or Pat Buck, just so we can have some sort of authority. Because Bailey puts on the shirt, we end it. Even Stephanie McMahon the next night was like, "Why is she okay with this?" And she's saying the title is on the line next week. I just didn't like how this just again a good match with lackluster ending with the whole Bailey in the shirt and who's the champ, who's not the champ.
Um, I agree because it was a good match. It was a really good match, and at the end of the day, after Raw, Sasha's the champ anyway. So I don't know why we couldn't have just pulled the trigger at the pay
On
per
the
view.
pay-per-view.
It would have been a special moment. I mean, I was hoping they go this route because just from a storyline purpose, I love the fact that it's the two-man power trip. You know that it's the two girls that are best friends and they have all the gold and they share it, and I love that. And when the opportunity came up and they announced that match with Sasha versus Asuka, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Give her the belt, and then have everybody, celebrating that they have all the gold. Um, which we now officially have, after Raw Monday. But yeah, having it do it the way they did it, and then like Sasha for the next week still came out with the belt each time, even though it still had Asuka's side plates on it, and they were still saying Asuka was the champ, but she was still walking around with it. I understood the Stephanie thing. I mean, that made sense to me. I mean, she was kind of like, well, Asuka didn't win and you didn't win, so we're gonna have another match, and the winner of that will be the official champ. So, I mean, I kind of got that, but yeah, the whole thing of just her throwing on. I mean, it was a good heel kind of moment to do, but that's something you would do on like a SmackDown or a Raw. Like
Yeah.
I don't like when they do that shit at a pay per view. The stakes should just be higher, and being able to just slap on a ref shirt and count the three was like, okay, that's not legit. Like that wouldn't just fly. Like she's not a referee, and there's no reason that another ref couldn't have came down and everything. So yeah, it does suck because, like I said, a week later we're in the same position if they would have just gave her the belt. So I don't know why we had to play this game to get here, other than the fact that maybe working the Kyrie moment to get her out of the company since she left. If that was the whole big intention, was to do the match on Raw Monday to have her run out and help her friend and then get counted out because counted out is a stipulation.
You could have done a similar thing though with them on the stage and just have like Bailey be holding her on the stage, and then that distracts Asuka enough for a roll up or something. I just don't
Well,
think
Bailey couldn't come out because remember, if she came out, then she was banned from ringside, just like
well, then you
Kyrie
don't do
was.
that. You don't do that then.
It worked because it was backstage. Asuka didn't have to go running out after. But what they could have done is, I mean, they could have had Sasha win the belt funky at the pay-per-view and then forced them to have the rematch on Raw the next week, and still could have done the same ending, and then Sasha would have just retained that way. So now Asuka's been screwed over twice, basically, at the pay-per-view and on Raw. So, we, like I said, we could just have gotten to the same spot a couple different better ways than what we actually got.
Yeah, that's my major problem walking away from this is I don't hate the outcome. I would have been okay if Oscar retained, but I don't hate, like you said, the power trip between the two. I just hated how I left the pay-per-view feeling unfulfilled. You know what I mean? The end
Yeah.
game was okay, but just when you screw around so much on pay-per-views, this is why people feel so wishy-washy on some of these WWE pay-per-views.
My bigger pet peeve about it, to be honest, isn't even really the whole outcome of everything. Like, to me, I feel like, why is it fair that Sasha even gets a Raw Women's Championship match? Like, I get the fact that as a tag team champion, you get to be presented on all brands, but that's as the tag team champion. It doesn't say anything about you get to just hop to the other brand and challenge for their heavyweight championship. Like, like, to me, I don't see how, like, as much as I like it and I like the idea of them having all the gold, realistically though, why should Sasha be able to jump a brand and immediately get a title shot when there's actual Raw women that, are part of that roster? Yeah. She is a SmackDown wrestler who is now holding the Raw Women's Championship. And I know they tried to wiggle in the whole like, well, she gets to be on both brands because she's a champ, but it's like, but that was just as part of the tag team. You defend the tag team belts on all brands. It wasn't you get to jump to the other brand and challenge for other belts. Like, so I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch in this area. I really had hoped the storyline eventually would have got to Sasha obviously taking out Bayley, you know, like, and then taking that women's championship on SmackDown from her friend, you know, because they've been building up for that for months, you know.
I'm calling the opposite, by the way. I'm calling Bayley flipping on Sasha.
Probably because Bayley's doing so good as a heel, so you're going to want her to turn, you know.
Yeah, no, I do like your point, though, here. I mean, it just shows the inconsistencies of these brand splits of, you know, it's very true. She should only be on Raw when there's a defense. It's not that she can now fight other women just for funsies and challenge for titles. So, yeah. This brand inconsistency.
Jump to the head of the list that way, you know. And they need to be on NXT more. Come on. Like, I want to see them represented. You know, I'm glad that they did that, like, pretty much right after they won the belts, but I hope that that's not a fluke thing and we don't see that again for 6 months. Like, they really need to be on all three brands because they made a big deal about that, and I don't feel any of the other champions really did that. So, you know, like, so we need to see it more. Like, you know, NXT chicks, there's a lot of NXT teams of women that could challenge for that thing, and I think they need to be represented more.
Absolutely. I mean, it just creates fresh matchups and, you know, interesting matchups that, you know, we haven't seen. Next up we had, I totally thought Ziggler had it. Drew McIntyre defeated Dolph Ziggler here. And then poor Dolph, again, I actually laughed on the following night on Raw where they basically set up Drew versus Randy. And then Drew went, oh, yeah, that's right. And tonight with Dolph, I was like, what an afterthought. I mean, Dolph lost to Otis 2 months ago in Mania. Did we really think he was going to win the title? I just felt like this is such a transition to get to someone else. Any thoughts on Drew and Ziggler 2 nights in a row?
Well, I mean, as far as the pay-per-view match went, I loved it. I thought this was a super strong
quality-wise,
match. Yeah, I love the match. I thought the stipulation was very smart of it's going to be an Extreme Rules match, but only on my side. And I love that. You know, I thought it made it fresh. It was unique. And to be honest, as much as I went into the match thinking there's no fucking way in hell that Dolph's winning the belt, there was some moments there towards the end where I started to feel like, oh shit, like he might actually do it. Like, yeah, he's here to show the world. I thought for a moment that he might have actually done it. And stop it. So he won me over in that match to where I was a little worried for a minute. Like, I thought like they had made it, they were focusing so much on the fact that like, oh, Drew's not a credible opponent, that I thought they were going to do the swerve to be like, oh shit, he actually won the belt, you know? I don't think it would have been for long, but I think that that's something they could have done. But they didn't. And then, you know, the match on Raw, you know, like it was what it was. Like you said, it was more of an afterthought because they had already set up Randy. So
it's to kill those 3 hours. That's all it was. The Raw match where they're like, we got time to fill.
Yeah. So the match I love, though. I mean, they did put out a really good show, and I like the stipulation.
And then finally, in our main event, the greatest cinematic match ever, Swamp match. What's your opinion on the Swamp match? I was okay with it. I rolled my eyes a couple times. I don't like the seeing himself. I didn't hate the Bliss thing, but I don't know. Just overall, it's not the Boneyard match, that's for sure.
No. It's unfortunate because this could have been really cool. There's so much they could have done in a Swamp environment. And I feel like it was a lost opportunity. I didn't care for it very much. The first, you know, half of it, there's not even really any wrestling going on. It was just like, he's there, Bray disappears, Bray pops out, punches him, disappears, you know, and then he sees himself, which was stupid. I kind of dug the Alexa Bliss thing, just because I know their history, and it was kind of cool for her to be like, I know you want me, like, you know, kind of thing.
We turned on my Alexa somehow. I don't know why. Alexa just started talking in the next room. Oh, because that's Alexa Bliss. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you figured that out.
Took me a second.
Alexa.
Shut up.
But overall it was just, and like you said, like it just, again, it was a transitional thing to bring the Fiend back and be like, oh, we made it to the Fiend, right? Like we remember what we said, like we got to go back to go forward, you know. So we're gonna go back to old school Bray Wyatt, and then now we're leaving off with the Fiend.
Yeah. Which we feel, I think most of us figured out by Money in the Bank. We went, all right, you got Funhouse, you got Old School, now we're going to the Fiend. I mean,
Yep.
that was
It was always I always felt like they were leading
new.
to SummerSlam, you know, and they had to lead to SummerSlam to bring the Fiend back. Don't have him out for a couple months, you know, and go from there, you know. And we even had to deal with Miz and Morrison for the one pay-per-view, you know, so, you know, to buy him some time. But yeah, they could have done more. They could have done a lot more with this. I just felt like it should have been a wrestling match. It should have been like the Boneyard match, and instead they kind of went more gimmicky with it, and that was
more similar to Bray and Cena, but even less fun. Speaking of cinematic here's one that I didn't hate until the end, and that was the bar fight with Sheamus and Hardy, which I kind of thought would just be on Extreme Rules, but I guess
they probably to be. I bet they filmed it for it.
Yeah, I would imagine too. But I guess that maybe the thought was just simply let's not have too many cinematic maybe within one night. Was probably the thought.
From what I read, it had to do with just ratings. They needed a ratings boost for SmackDown.
Keep it for SmackDown.
Wanted to give it something big, something special than just regular PC matches.
So yeah, I mean, I was okay with this. I don't like the end with the eyes and the face paint. I mean, because then now you're going to the realm of impossibility. We're past just what was a physical fight now to literally.
But Braun saw himself in the swamp.
That's what I'm saying. That's what threw me off. We both even said we didn't like that and that's how I felt about this. I was kind of with it until the very last moment where I went, oh, you went to fucking impossibility. You went to La La Land. A little bit of funny Hardy monologue here. I see myself in everything, man, or whatever he was saying. But even that I went with because Hardy is weird. But yeah, what do you think about the bar fight?
I pretty much totally agree with you. It was a match I was looking forward to at Extreme Rules. I remember when they went to the swamp fight, I was like, where the hell's the bar fight? Like I totally thought it was on the card. And I was shocked that it wasn't there. So yeah, I like the way it was set up. Obviously this feud has been really good. I like how it's personal. I didn't like that it was the same bartender dude that they used on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. Oh, Sheamus's personal bartender at an actual bar in Florida. Yeah, no, it was a really good match. I liked what they did. Same thing, he falls on the floor, he puts the hat over his face, and then when they go back, all of a sudden his face is painted and he's got the white contacts, and then it's so funny too, even at the end of the match after he hits the swanton and gets the 3, he closes his eyes, he opens them, the contacts aren't there anymore. It's like, oh, I snapped out of it, and it's like, that's the part of the cinematic matches I don't like, is that I feel that they take it to that next goofy kind of cartoony extreme, with certain things. And it's like, no, like just film it like a cinematic movie fight, like it doesn't need like, why did he need face paint and all this shit? It's like he's never done that on TV, that it's like, oh, I have, he's not like Matt on SmackDown, that it's like he's got these different personas, and he tapped into his Demon King, so there was really there was no reason for it. But yes, other than that, it was a cool match. I really dug it. So yeah, it was cool. I wish that, they just need to live the gimmicky stuff out.
Yeah, that was the thing, man. I was with it, and then that last minute, I was with, what was it? Jump the shark, just like they did it on the Jaros boat. I already forgot what it was called. Moving to Raw here. I'm glad to see the reappearance of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. They had a nice little pull apart brawl here. They're probably leading into a feud here. That, and also too, we finally have seen the kind of reappearance of Bianca Belair for the first time since Mania. What are your thoughts on these three? And there's even SmackDown girls too that have been lost in the shuffle here. What are your thoughts on Jax and Baszler's feud and the lack of push for Belair?
Nia and Shayna, I can dig, because Shayna's just that beat them all up, it doesn't matter, and it's nice to see her go up against somebody the size of Nia, to have just that different dichotomy of like, oh shit, like it's not as easy to throw her around as everybody else, so I like the brutal kind of just slugs they were throwing on Monday. It looked like they were really slugging at each other, which was cool, so I like that. Bianca, I'm super fucking confused on, because it's like they made this big deal after Mania that the EST of NXT is now the EST of WWE. And then she disappeared for like 2 months.
Now she's the EST of main event.
Yeah, exactly. So she's on main event pretty regularly. And I'm just like, why? Like, I don't understand it. She's so talented. It's fresh. It's new. It's somebody that hasn't worked with all these girls. Why? And it's like, and then kind of pairing her with Ruby Riott. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. It doesn't make.
And I love Ruby, but yeah, that's a weird one.
No, it doesn't make any damn sense. They really just have no idea what to do with her right now, and it's unfortunate. I mean, I'm glad she's at least on Raw a couple times. It's like, oh, look, they found her. But I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. I mean, if anything, if they're not going to use her, then at least have her come out with the Street Profits or something. I mean, like, come on, do something to keep her out there. But yeah, there's definitely a big lack there. And that lack has bled into SmackDown as well. I mean, they're not doing shit with half those girls, and I don't understand. Where the hell is Carmella? Where Dana Brooke every once in a blue moon. They're using the same 3 or 4 chicks. It's Alexa, it's Nikki, and Bayley
Dana Brooke's
and Sasha.
still trying to get the briefcase over at Money in the Bank. She got lost trying to find that Lex Neville.
And then Naomi's kind of coming back, but then it's like, all of a sudden Lacey's a heel again because of a singing competition. Like,
that would piss off anybody.
Dude, you spent months trying to move Lacey to a fresh face, right? She was a heel forever. Then they spent all these months trying to make her a valid face, right? And she's the ex-Marine. She, like, oh my God, like,
I'm doing for my kid.
Yeah, my kid, everything against those nasties, and then over a karaoke competition, she shoves Naomi and is now back to her heel status. What the hell just happened, and who made that decision backstage? Because that is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like, there was no reason for her to turn heel, and to have it done over a karaoke contest is so damn dumb.
That segment's got to be nominated for worst segment of the year.
It was so bad. I knew the second they announced that what they were doing that night, I was like, oh God, at least it got some of the girls on TV for the night. But outside that,
I'd rather not be on TV. I'd rather stay in catering or main event.
Super disappointing. I don't know what they're doing. They're making all a big deal about the 5-year anniversary of the Divas Revolution and all this stuff, right? It was like Divas Week and all these things. And then I'm like, you're all shitting the bed on the girls right now. Like, I don't understand what the hell's going on.
I loved how people were exaggerating when what was it, a Moment of Bliss? They're like, oh, we got a special guest that's gonna rock the world, and everyone was like, it's gonna be Stephanie talking about Evolution 2, and it was just Asuka or some shit. Like, which, like, speaking of shit in the bed, like, there's no reason why they didn't do Evolution 2. We should be on 3. It doesn't look like 3 is happening either. So, like, or now 2. Yeah,
I saw a rumor that they might do one later in the year. They think they are moving forward for a 2021. But yeah, why not? I mean, like, I don't get it. Like, I mean, even right now, it's an easy extra show to put together at the PC to just be like, oh, look, there's another Evolution. Like,
let's honor our women. Yeah,
the girls all want it. Like, it really takes away from that first one if you're just going to be like, oh, we did it one time, made the special all-female pay-per-view, and then we never did it again. Like, what? Like, so I don't understand that one, like, at all. Yeah. Unless
especially
they're
now,
trying to hold out till this shit's over.
Especially as you said too. I mean, like, they have the arena there. It's up to them. Like, I don't know if it was a ticket sales. I forgot the reasoning as to why 2 never happened, but you got an easy way to film it. You got plenty of people on NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. They can have a 6 to 8 match card, no problem.
Yeah, just like last time. All the women's belts are on the line across all brands, and then you have a battle royal. Like, I mean, it's a built-in card. Just do the same concept you did last time. Have a big battle royal, invite back some legends, and
if they're willing to come out.
If they're willing. I don't know. I listened to Lita on the new After the Bell Corey Graves podcast, and she was like, "Hey, if they give me a call, I'd be down." So give Lita a call, man. She's ready.
Yeah, Amy Dumas. Let's call Amy up. Speaking of SummerSlam leading into, looks like we're going to get Drew and Randy. This is another match I knew we are going to get pretty much at some point. Randy's about as hot as he's been in the last few years, going through Edge, Christian, Show, sometimes a partnership with Flair. So, yeah, I think this makes sense. This feels like a SummerSlam match, too, which is good. So, I'm down for this so far.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm a little afraid they're gonna hot shot it to Randy just because of everything going on. I really don't want Drew to not have it anymore. To be honest, like I think, but Randy just seems so hot right now that I'm just like, I just don't know, like if they're gonna have Drew actually beat him,
Yeah.
with how big he's doing, unless they do some kind of bullshit count out or DQ kind of thing,
I hope they don't at SummerSlam. I hope.
they run the chance of always,
Yeah.
and maybe that's the way they do it to just keep the belt on Drew in the meantime. I don't know. But yeah, I know that I've been hearing the rumors like crazy that they want to get the belt to Randy. And then when Edge is back, you got that belt, you got that match built in for the championship now. And Edge gets another moment as champ if he beats him, and so there's like this built-in story that supposedly is going to lead to Mania and all this stuff. But I don't know, man. I'm not ready for it yet. I'm not ready for Drew to lose his time. I really wanted Drew to have the belt for when they got back to live crowds. Like he hasn't had a chance to be a champ in front of a crowd yet, and that
Yeah.
sucks. Like if his entire reign is in quarantine, that just really really blows. Unless and they could be leading to circle back around to him. 8 months from now.
That's what I was gonna say.
Which they could, they could have Randy win now, Edge win at the Rumble, and Drew beat Edge at Mania, next Mania, to just go kind of full circle and give Drew his Mania moment that he missed out on this year. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It is, like you said, it's a SummerSlam quality main event. You can't get any bigger than this as far as two heavyweights on Raw right now. I mean, it makes the most sense. So I kind of had a feeling this is where it was going.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible Orton to win. The only reason I will get too upset is I actually am for the first time digging Orton more than I have in several years, and I do kind of like you said, he deserves to be champ in front of a crowd. Drew, maybe we'll get to see him win his second reign. I don't know. My only fear, my only like, please, WWE Lords don't, is that he gets treated like Kofi. As long as it's not, he loses and then he just gets trickled down. That's my only please don't. If he loses and he's still in the main event picture, I can deal. But if he loses and he's a Dolph, I don't know.
I don't see that happening to Drew, to
I
be
don't,
honest.
but
I mean, Drew just has such a presence, and he's such a true idea of a heavyweight champion. The way that they've been booking him, and he's just been on fire, to be honest. And I just don't see how a guy like him could lose and just trickle down, like you said. I mean, just especially not to Dolph status. And I don't even think to Kofi. I think to Kofi's problem, if he didn't have New Day, I don't think he would have dropped off so hard. But I think with New Day, it just gives him such an easy out as to be like, oh, back to the tag team. Like he has this back door, like they could just be like New Day, and where, somebody like Drew, I just don't see it, happening like that. So, I would hope he would still be around that main event picture and be up there still kicking ass regardless.
all right, let's put a piece of news coming up from Raw and stuff. Looks like Kairi Sane, they just posted, I don't know if you saw the YouTube video of her saying goodbye and she's going on another bon voyage. What do you think of Kairi's gone, man?
It sucks. I like Kairi. I love the Kabuki Warriors, and I mean she's had a great run. I mean it's only been 3 years, and she NXT champion, Mae Young Classic champion, tag team champion. It's unfortunate she never really got a good singles run on the main roster because she didn't even debut until pretty much as Asuka's partner. So that she's always been that tag team partner. So I wish she would have got a chance at least a little run with the heavyweight, with the women's championship. I'm sure we'll probably see her again, maybe down the road. It looks like she's just going back home to see her family and go back to Japan for a bit, and hopefully she'll return. Down the line. But yeah, I mean, seems like a great girl, and I wish her the best.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely, you never know people's true hearts. I don't know if we'll ever see her back. You've seen several, Japanese talent. When they go home, they stay home, and so we'll see, man. Is it possible? For sure. Like you said, I kind of felt like there was more that could have been done with her, just based on time. Not even necessarily for lack of push. Just if she was around another 2 years, what she could have done. It sucks. I really thought Asuka was popping with the Kabuki Warriors, and that's her best reign has been the last year. going over to your favorite company, Impact Wrestling. You keeping up on Impact? You watch Slammiversary?
No, I haven't seen anything because Impact does not air here. So I know they got a new TV deal, and I still don't have whatever
I don't.
stupid channel they're on. They're on
But
like
all you need is the Impact Plus.
EXS or something like that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, still don't have that channel. I wish they would get a bigger network because I actually would like to see Impact right now. They're picking up some people. I know they got EC3, they got Eric Young. I know the Good Brothers are over there. Kurt Hawkins just signed over there. There's more. Who else did
No,
they get?
no, you're going through the list there. I got in front of me more or less. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there might even be more. I don't know, but those are the ones that pop in my mind, and good for them. I mean, it makes sense that, especially for like Eric Young and EC3, obviously Impact makes the most sense. I hope they do some stuff with Kurt because that guy deserves it. I wish I could see Impact right now. Can you explain to me, because my question about Impact is, why do they have 2 heavyweight championships?
Okay, yeah, I can explain that. I don't know if it started because of the pandemic and Tessa got lost in Mexico, and then later on was just like, I'm staying in Mexico. Screw you guys. So I think because of that, maybe they started having Moose mess around with he brought like. Remember Jim Duggan found the TV title on WCW in the trash? Moose just found the TNA, not the Impact, the TNA
Right.
World title, and was just, I'm the champ. I'm the TNA World Champion. And defeating former TNA champs like Rhino and or other TNA wrestlers like Suicide and stuff. And so he's claiming he's the champ. He's kind of delusional. Josh Matthews says that's not a recognized title. He forces the ring announcer to do it. Now save the title match. And and then finally we have a world champion now. So now there is kind of 2 world titles.
Yeah. So what was the deal with the actual Impact heavyweight title?
Yeah, Tessa was first because of the quarantine, stuck in Mexico, and then later on, there's never been a firm confirmed report. Some say maybe she don't want a job, but maybe there's so many different rumors out that she was holding out for more money.
She was still the heavyweight champ.
Yeah, she was still the champ. She was still technically the champion.
But they didn't match for the belt at Slammiversary, right?
Yes, it was a 5-way at Slam. Well, it was a 4-way. No, it was a 5-way, then a 4-way, then a 5-way again, because Michael Elgin was also supposed to be in it, and then he got released along with Joey Ryan and Dave Christ from the Speaking Out movement. So it became a 4-way, and at first they teased Rich Swann as the 4th one, which that was a letdown. I love Rich Swann, but just because they were really teasing like a return, and it was just a return from injury, but it was a swerve because it ended up being a 5-way again with Eric Young coming to the ring, making his return. In the end, though, Eddie Edwards got the title, and Eddie Edwards is now the current champion. As you mentioned, though, the night before at midnight, before the pay-per-view, Gallows and Anderson announced their debut. The Good Brothers are signed to them. They also are allowed to appear for New Japan when that starts running a little bit more. Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin also return in the opener, and then would go on to win the tag titles later that week.
Very sad that Alex Shelley did not stick around NXT. I was really hoping that was what was happening next, and
a lot of people were wondering.
That was a one-off.
A lot of people were definitely wondering where, because he was doing NXT. He did a couple of Ring of Honors. It was a lot of people wondering where he was going to finally put pen to paper, and now it looks like it's just back with TNA now. Heath Slater, who doesn't have a last name.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Does not have a last name. Just has the first name, which is annoying to me because, like, okay, fine, if you call him Heath, like, give him name. Heath Miller, is that not allowed? Or he was Heath Miller at one point. Heath Johnson. I just like the one word name always bothers me. But he's I know the first, I haven't seen the second week of TV, but the first week he's still actually trying to get in the building. He's not technically signed and is still trying to get in the building. Rhino's supposed to help him out. EC3 popped up finally at the tail end of the pay-per-view. You figure out he's the one in the vignettes that's been drinking and watching the promos. They've been doing that tease for weeks. Brian Myers, as you mentioned, they showed his first vignette. Very brief. You could tell just from the color scheme that it's him. I think it's the Mets colors, the orange and blue, and the big M for Myers, because he was wearing like a face mask on that one. So he'll be popping up sometime soon here. Deonna Purrazzo, by the way, won the Knockouts championship.
I'm so happy for her. She's
Yeah.
somebody that they
Another
totally dropped the ball on in NXT. So
and
very happy.
because she was NXT, she was able to actually get a head start. She's been on TV for a few weeks prior to Slammiversary because I guess NXT contracts, developmental contracts, are different from Raw and SmackDown. So she actually got a head start, unlike EC3 and whatnot. Chris Bay is your new X Division champion as well here. That was a good match as well. So yeah, some big names coming to them. Other returns too on the last weekend for GCW and independent wrestling in general. ACH, formerly Jordan Miles, is back on the scene. A lot of people weren't sure if he would ever return. And speaking of people that we weren't sure if they were done, Leo Rush returned to wrestling as well, facing Joey Janela at GCW night 2. After Joey Janela, can you guess who Joey Janela fought on the first night of GCW?
Violent J.
It probably would have been as good of a match. He fought a doll.
Okay.
12-minute match with a doll. So just thought you should know that. What's your opinion on the Adam Cole Pat McAfee feud? He was on the show.
It's a work.
McAfee called him short. He was like, "F you," and dissed him with a lot of cursing. And the fact that they replayed on NXT confirms that it's a work here. Are we leading to a McAfee match, or is it just a simply to get Cole over?
Yeah, no, I think they are leading to a match. I mean, they talked in that interview about him doing some wrestling training and learning, and he bought a ring and he's been working out with a coach and all this stuff. So I feel like they dropped that knowledge on purpose to say he's got some kind of, like he's getting into it. The dude's a massive WWE fan. He's worked with NXT for years, so it feels like, I mean, when I first heard about it and I watched the video, for a minute, I thought it was legit. And then he just got so angry so fast that I was like, you wouldn't do that and risk your job, like just because of a disagreement. Like, and they were fighting over like kayfabe shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. He was like, you didn't win by yourself. You had the undisputed era with you. How dare you? It's like, come on. Like, we know that that's not legit. Like, and then he's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm out. Fuck you. And it's just like, what just happened? So, I mean, they did a great job. It was fun. It was nice to watch. I like when they do outside shit like that. But yeah, totally. I mean, as much as they're trying to push it as a legit thing, like, oh, Triple H invited Pat McAfee to a future NXT taping, is like, okay, like, I know where we're going, but hey, I give him kudos for trying. I left time with my family to do this.
Yeah, he had to leave good old Britt Baker to go see him.
Exactly.
Well, if I can be serious for a moment, Lance Storm has officially been released. He was furloughed, now he's released. So who knows if anyone will grab him. He said it's the first time in a long time that he's been unemployed. So good luck to the Canadian Lance Storm. AEW had one big, awesome debut and one debut this weekend on AEW Dynamite. Matt Cardona, you may know him as Long Island or Strong Island's Zack Ryder, debuted, helping out Cody. It's already been signed. I don't know it. This Wednesday will be him and Cody, Cardona and Cody versus John Reynolds and Alex Reynolds. No, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and Cardona's AEW match debut. I'm excited for this one here, man. This was kind of rumored about because supposedly him and Cody in real life are buds. I wasn't sure if they would go with him though, but yeah, it looks like we got Cardona on AEW. What do you think about Woo Woo Woo?
Yeah, I'm super, super, super happy for him. I've always liked Zach. I've been a fan of Zach, since the Major Brothers and since his one-legged tights in ECW. I always liked Zach, man. I always wish the best for him, and felt like they just constantly dropped the ball on the dude. I mean, he's one of the most just legit like fans of the business, like loves the business, wants to do anything to be successful, and just all his YouTube stuff that he's done. He's super creative. And you're right. Like, after he was let go, like, I didn't even think for a second AEW or even like Impact. Like I really thought like him and Kurt were gonna go just run around the indies and try to make a little side living and just be happy and content with that. I didn't foresee this at all. And then I'm scrolling through Instagram the other night and I see the picture of him in an AEW ring and I'm like, holy crap, you know, and he looked badass, dude. He looked badass in there. Doesn't look like he's going in with just that silly gimmick. He's coming in hardcore, ready to fight, you know, and I love it, man. He's jacked. He looks good. Like, I mean, he's ready. And I'm happy for him. I just wish him the best. I wish Kurt would have gone to AEW also, but you know, hey, I look forward to him doing his own thing and Impact and getting to see what they can do individually. But I love both those guys, and I wish them both, you know, tremendous success.
Yeah, I mean, congrats on both of them. Neither one of them wasting much time here. Both of them, you know, with jobs already, so that's good that at least they're set.
Talented guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And what could be sad news if you take it for his word, Alexander Rusev or Miro now is claiming that he's done. He's not looking for a job in wrestling. He likes just being on Twitch and whatnot. Do you buy this? Are you upset? If it's true, this definitely sucks. But I'd also heard he had COVID recently, so maybe he's just biding his time, healing up injuries, healing up the COVID. Yeah. And he's definitely somebody I could see easily. I think he could be in AEW just based on star power or Impact or literally anyone. I think he had such high star power. Anyone would be lucky to have him. Oh, okay. I guess he didn't know I was talking to you. Do you need
it's
a
also
pump?
like 2 a.m. there?
He must really need help.
Sorry. Okay. I'm very thrown back that he's calling right now.
Should we pause?
I mean, you should just yell across the room. What do you need Don for? I'm recording a podcast.
We'll be back. And now the most important debut of the week as we're back from our scheduled break.
I didn't even get to talk about Rusev. Jeez.
Oh, talk about Rusev. I don't remember.
You asked me what I thought. For one, I don't think for a bit he is retired. That is stupid. He's going somewhere. He just probably doesn't know what. I think he is relaxing and enjoying this time and just having fun right now. But eventually he will get back to it, no doubt. Yeah, but glad to see he's doing well because, yeah, he did come out a couple of weeks ago and said he had COVID, and looks like he's doing A-okay at this point. So, you know, happy he's doing all right. But, yes, I expect him to pop up somewhere sometime in the near future.
I hope so. I definitely think we've only scratched the surface with Rusev or Miro. I definitely think he has a lot more to give. I'd love to see him in different hands just in general, see what someone else is able to do with him. And then of course the biggest debut of the week was the other Funkadactyl has finally returned. Ariane, aka Cameron, aka trying to pin Naomi on her back, aka my favorite match is Melina versus Alicia Fox. Oh yeah, look at this clip. She hits her finisher on Naomi and then continues while she's on her stomach with trying to pin her on her back. And like, come on, man. The dude's like, I'll give some hope that supposedly she has been training. She was supposed to return during WrestleMania weekend for a couple different indie companies. Maybe she'll blow us away. I can't imagine AEW is just blindly using her. I don't think she has enough star power to go, oh yes, let's get her for, you know, star power. So maybe she's gonna blow us away. We're gonna go, holy shit, she's been training. Well, any what do you got?
I'm good.
That's all you got on Ariane?
Got nothing to say. Funk is on a roll.
Yes. Can't wait till next week when Brodus Clay debuts. I found this funny.
I miss Brodus.
Is he still on like Fox News or whatever?
Yeah, he's on Fox something because you see him on the commercials, like actually during SmackDown. I'm like, this is really weird that he's advertising Fox on before SmackDown.
I remember there's even one commercial was like, I used to be in the ring, and they show a quick clip of him. He's like, and now I do this.
Yeah.
I found this funny. So WWE released a list of the 10 best matches of the year so far on their Twitter. And Edge versus Orton is not number one.
Wow. On their own report?
Their own report.
That was the greatest wrestling match ever, not listed number one.
It came in second place.
So what's number one?
Well, I'm gonna go through the list real
Okay,
quick.
go through it. Yeah.
Number 10, we have Matt Riddle versus Timothy Thatcher, their fight pit from NXT on May 2020. Although it was really fun. I could see that making
Good. Top 10?
maybe.
Mm.
To them, it did. Number 9, Adam Cole versus Keith Lee from Great American Bash Night 2. And number 8, they combine the men and women's Money in the Bank matches from Money in the Bank. Number 7, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair from WrestleMania Night 2. Number 6, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins from Money in the Bank. Number 5, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, the IC title tournament finals from June 2020 SmackDown. Number 4, the men's Rumble from this year. Number 3, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai from In Your House. And number 2 was Edge versus Orton, with number 1 being the Boneyard match with Taker and AJ. So that's why I can kind of see that being okay enough to see. It is kind
but
of funny, though.
wasn't a real match. I mean, I don't know how you kind of put that up in there.
They got a number 1, man.
That's a stretch.
So yeah, we got some fun stuff coming up. We're on the road to SummerSlam. We're even on the road pretty soon. Maybe MJF fighting for the title at All Out. I thought MJF had a great. Do you watch Dynamite?
Yeah.
Do you watch it, or do you fast forward a lot?
I watch it on ×4 speed. So I'm very familiar with it.
So you didn't see the promo, did you?
I saw through it.
Oh man. Well, unlike Don, I suggest you guys watch some Dynamite. That's pretty good stuff. It's usually Wednesday nights, man. Wednesday nights is the night for wrestling TV.
NXT.
Both of them. Well, Don, any parting words, any stories or inspirations, any topics?
The breaking news today was that Triple H and Shawn Michaels are going to be playable characters in the WWE 2K Battlegrounds game that hits stores September 18th. So make sure you pre-order your copy today, get the pack with Edge, and you can play as Shawn Michaels, Triple H, two of the greatest of all time. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that and knows that so they can pre-order this amazing game.
That's the only game we're gonna get this year, so I guess maybe I should get it too. Because
I'm so sad.
First time.
I look forward more than anything to playing the 2K games, and we're not going to get one this year, and I'm very, very sad about that. So I hope in another year, when they make the new game for the PS5, that it is incredible, and they better come to play with that next game, because it's going to be long overdue. I want lots of free DLC, updated Titantrons, music, all the above, DLC.
Did you say free DLC?
Yes, because they owe it to us
for
skipping a goddamn year.
They don't care. They're not going to give it to us.
I don't know. I don't know. But maybe they got to come out with something big to be like, we did you wrong in the past, but we're back and we're going to take care of y'all. So I'm hoping. Have you heard any rumors to where SummerSlam may be? Because I feel like they're trying to find somewhere to do it. It was supposed to be in Boston. They officially canceled it, but then also said the new location will be announced shortly. So if this is just going to be another PC pay-per-view, I feel like there's something else going on in the background here, since they're not just coming out and saying that.
You know what the big rumor is? A big old cruise ship.
Really?
That's what I heard, yeah.
Wow, I did not hear that. They should just do it at whatever the name of that place is that AEW films at. Just do it there. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Tony, here's a couple mil. Come on.
Exactly. They'll boot out AEW. They'll be like, fuck, I'll get out of here.
Switch places for a week. Have some fun. Let Dynamite tape over at the Perform PC.
Because I will say, as far as, even fast forwarding through AEW, that I appreciate their setup. Like, I like that place that they film at. I don't know why WWE can't find somewhere to just set up shop like that. and just do something on a little bit of a bigger scale, because the PC area is starting to look a little bit too blah for me. It's just everything looks the same. Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, they all look the fucking same other than the lighting, So at least with AEW, where they're filming at, they have their normal stage with pyro, like they're able to still kind of put on a normal show. And even in the last couple of weeks, they've had some fans in the crowd kind of spread out, plus the wrestlers around the ring like they're doing in WWE now. Like, so find something like that. Do it in a baseball stadium. Get some room,
Yeah, I'm sure to a large degree it's just simply a cost thing where like they have this building, but for
I
pay-per-views,
get that, but for
do something different.
pay-per-views, like just something, man, stretch it out, So I really do hope that they find something for SummerSlam. I don't know if you've heard any rumors besides a cruise ship, but
That's all I've heard.
I feel like they're trying to lock in something, and that's cool, because I would really hate to see another show that's supposed to be the second biggest pay-per-view of the year have to run like a WrestleMania and just
I
do
wish
it.
Money in the Bank was all on that roof.
Yeah, that could have been cool. Why not? They had a ring up there.
There's
no reason they couldn't have just
cool.
done the whole damn thing.
Have a nice little,
they need
outside vibe.
Do something different for the pay-per-views, at least, just to give it that fresh kind of approach.
What was the rumor for? I don't know if it was Mania or not, but they could do it for SummerSlam, like Hogan's Beach. Like that'd be cool for SummerSlam if someone's got a giant ass beach with a platform.
Yeah, I'd be down for anything at this fucking point.
Some volleyball in the background, like come on.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down. I'd love to see something different. Like I said, I think Full Sail looks way better than the PC does. So I wish, if anything, they would at least film pay-per-views at Full Sail because that arena just looks better dark. And then they have the bigger screen for them when they come out. They even had a little bit of pyro when Keith Lee won, So like, I mean, hey, like at least they're trying a little bit more than Raw and SmackDown are. So just to give it a different look, man, just need something a little different, And I'm sure you've already talked about it on another episode since it's been a couple of weeks. But shout out to Keith Lee, who was a double champion there for a couple of weeks. That was awesome. Glad to see that he, so nicely gave up the North American Championship, and now we have a tournament to determine the new champ for the ladder match coming up at NXT Takeover 30, I believe is what it is. So in the spirit of competition, because that's what I do in the video games. When I win all the belts, I just give away a couple of them after and just be like, this is for the people. I don't want to hog them all. So I appreciate them doing that. But very cool. I love double champions. That's something they haven't done in a long time. I wish that they would do that more often. What I miss is, as I feel like they haven't done this since the 90s, is like I want to see one of those matches where it's the tag team champs versus the heavyweight and the intercontinental champ, and the winner takes all, like they did with Yoko and Owen versus Shawn and Kevin Nash, have all the belts. Like, they need to do special stuff like that every once in a while. Like, I think that'd be pretty damn cool. I remember how stoked I was for that match, just to be like, wow, someone's going to walk out with all the championships. Obviously now we have way more championships, but back then that was all the championships, and it was very, very cool. So I wish they would do that stuff more often. So I was very stoked to see them do a winner take all match with Keith Lee and Adam Cole. So that was very awesome. And yeah, good luck to Keith Lee and see what he does there going forward. I kind of wish that hope Finn Balor wins the North American Championship. Give him a little bit. Yeah, so he has never won that title. It's something fresh. They're just squandering him again in NXT. Come on.
True.
He should be on the main damn roster. I hate that he went back to NXT. And if he's going to be in NXT, you got to do something with him. And that gives him another accolade that he never had because the belt wasn't there in his first run. So, give it to him. I'm not saying to have him hold it for a year, but, he can hold it for a couple months. I really do hope that he's the guy to take it. But I haven't seen this week's NXT, so I'm not even sure if he won the match that he was in. But I hope so.
I don't think he did. I mean, no spoilers.
Because I haven't watched it. So.
No, yeah, man. We definitely same thing here to a degree. A big shout out to Keith Lee. Very glad he's the champ. I was pulling for him. Adam Cole, great reign, one of the longest, the longest reign, right? But yeah, Keith Lee, cool double champ. He did what I kind of thought he was gonna do because I figured they could go the Seth route and like maybe he'll lose the title, but they just gotta keep him strong looking, keep him noble too. I want to let
I'm glad that they did the next week. They had him defend it, just to kind of give him that,
yeah, at least one more rub.
putting both belts on the line, and then doing it the following week. I'm glad he at least got some time in with it. I didn't want them to do it immediately, so I'm glad that he at least had a defense first. But sure. I would have had him do it for about a month and then give up the other belt. But I'm sure they just had to set up for that next pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who I'm pulling for. I wouldn't mind somebody different. I mean, yeah, you make a good point about Finn, who really hasn't done much since returning to NXT. Kind of funny enough, a little bit here and there, but I don't know. I kind of want someone different. I want it to be someone. Let's give it Dexter Lumis.
Dexter is already out.
Oh, did he lose? Okay, so
yeah.
Well, then don't give it to him.
Yeah, they went with Bronson Reed.
No, they didn't. They went with Dexter. He tapped out Thatcher.
That match wasn't a qualifier.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. They're doing triple threats for qualifier.
Dexter tapped out Thatcher while Bronson was in the match. That was like 2 days ago.
They had another match of the same people. Bronson Reed won last week. He's in the ladder match. Not Dexter or Timothy Thatcher. You're thinking of a different match.
Am I?
Yes. I'm telling you 1,000%. Bronson Reed won last week and is in the ladder match for NXT TakeOver.
Oh, wait. Bronson Gargano Strong?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. That was the qualifier. They're doing triple threat matches as qualifiers. Okay. So the Dexter Lumis, Timothy Thatcher was not a qualifier match.
Hold on. Talk about something while I look.
So anyway, they have these triple threat matches on NXT, and the winner of each triple threat moves on to NXT TakeOver 30 to fight in a ladder match to determine the new.
Okay, hold on. So I'm right and I'm wrong, and you're right and you're wrong. I just wrote down Bronson on accident. Well, this is a spoiler. I don't want to tell you then.
Oh, see, well, basically, I'm guessing that Dexter Lumis qualifies on this week's show.
Yeah, I was talking about this week.
I said I have not watched yet.
Well, you're a wrestling fan. It's Friday. Come on.
It's Thursday here, technically.
1, 12, 11. Okay. Well, it's Friday here.
So, and the reason I haven't watched it is because I watch wrestling now with my daughter, and we haven't watched it together. So, I now have to. I usually watch shows a day behind now because I have to wait for her, and I don't want to watch it twice. So,
that's very nice.
It's Tuesday Night Raw, Thursday or Friday NXT, and Saturday morning SmackDown.
Does she also watch AEW on 4 times?
No, she doesn't even know what an AEW is. She probably thinks it's a root beer.
Raise your daughter right. Show her some AEW.
It's all about that WWE life, son.
Because you don't give her the chance.
I know. Because she's going to ask me too many questions, and then I just have to tell her, baby, I don't watch this shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
And then she'll be like, can I call Uncle Jordan? And I'll have all the answers.
No. We don't got time for another wrestling show. I got enough to watch. She likes to watch a main event also.
Oh, geez.
Well, because it's usually the only time you get to see a women's match. Because usually one of the matches is a woman. And did you see 205 Live is now literally one match?
No, we went back to one match. Last time I watched
one match and then a fucking Raw recap for the rest of the 45 minutes. I'm like, really? This is what it's come to now?
I did not like Corbin's promo. Was it Corbin? I forgot. Like, there's like some sort of like jab at like, 205, and I was like,
he did. Yeah, he told Matt Riddle to go to 205.
Oh yeah, what a weird promo. Like, I mean, like you're gonna directly like admit that like it's a lesser brand. Like, yeah, that's really gonna entice people to watch it now. Like, you're admitting your own company has a lesser brand. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I don't like when they knock another part of their own show.
That's part of their own problems. They want to know why people don't care enough. You literally are leading. You're literally helping to the problem now. You know.
Santos Escobar.
He's not bad.
I know. I did a little bit of history and found out he was in Lucha Underground, which I did not know about, which was very cool.
Was he something else?
Yes. He was one of the main guys in Lucha Underground. He was the dude in the red and black mask. Like, was on all the posters and shit.
Interesting. That's usually part of the wrestling trivia on this channel. What was this guy in Lucha Underground? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then I found out that Isaiah Swerve Scott was Killshot. Yeah. So that was very cool. I actually went down a little bit of history of all the people that have popped up over the years, and I was like, oh, shit. All I knew about was Ricochet as Prince Puma and Johnny Mundo. What else outside of that?
Oh, shit. Okay, he was King Cuerno. Okay, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Main dude.
So yeah, I watched him a bunch too.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, oh shit, he was that guy?
Yeah. That's where Paul London went. He's part of the Rabbit Tribe.
Yeah, stupid. So is that just officially done now or what?
Yeah, that's been pretty officially done. There's already a weird gap between 3 and 4, and then there's been no signs of revival of any sorts, which sucks because I thought it was a fun alternative. You know what I mean? They were kind of cinematic before WWE by far, and them and TNA kind of doing some cinematic stuff and actually having characters and some character. They went kind of wacky over the top. There was some murder even on the show. I think Brian Cage murdered a couple people at different points. It's funny too, if you ever watch Dario Cueto, who was like their Vince McMahon, just an actor, like he's on.
Yeah, I've seen him and stuff. I saw a movie a couple years ago where he was like a butler or something in the movie, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's the dude from Lucha Underground."
I just watched.
He was all nice. He was like this butler in the house. I was like,
Allison Brie, he's like the mechanic on her movie, Horse Girl. He's the mechanic on that. He's like a lawyer on 2.5 Men. Yeah, you'll see that dude pop up all the time. Look at this Dario Cueto.
Yeah. I remember tripping out when I saw him on whatever the hell I saw him on.
Yeah, because I just didn't know. I never really thought about it. I was like, oh, maybe he's just the manager, so like locally that they use, but no, just character actor they hired.
I wish they would bring back. I'm forgetting her name now, but she was the main chick, pretty much. That was always, she was like the mistress of evil
NXT
kind of thing.
For
yeah. God damn, man, what was her name? Because I can't even remember NXT or
Catalina.
Was it?
No. There's someone's watching this right now, yelling at the screen.
Yeah, the long black hair. A lot of people said for a long time she was Melina's sister, which I think was totally debunked that she was not.
What? Yeah, I never heard that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a ton of rumors that she was her sister because they have the same last name, and then they're like, "Oh, it's Melina's sister because she's Hispanic." And
oh, it was Katrina.
Was it Katrina? And then what was she in NXT?
I'll let you know in a second.
I loved her in NXT. She's so hot.
She had that outfit.
Yeah. Her wrestling outfit was amazing.
She was, I think, Maxine.
There it is.
Yeah. Viviana, Carly Perez, and Katrina.
Yeah. I hope maybe she gets a second run in WWE. I'd love to see her get a comeback.
I feel like she wanted to be more of a I think if they were willing to hire her for like a Lana role, I don't think she wanted to wrestle much. Like in Lucha Underground, I don't think she wrestled much.
Right. Yeah, I was disappointed by her release when she got it. She was really good.
Actually, yeah, I'm looking on here now. I don't think it looks like she did wrestle once. Yeah, she literally wrestled Ivelisse once, and that's her only Lucha Underground match. So yeah, she definitely looked like she didn't want to.
I did see Ivelisse on AEW.
Ivelisse popped up. She fought my good friend Diamante, a Florida girl. So I was happy to see that. And she fought Hikaru Shida this week.
Oh, Maxine.
This is just so people at home can know who we're talking about.
Yes. Oh, of course. Thank you. Yeah, I loved her.
Yeah, that outfit was permanently stuck in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great outfit. Great attire.
Her last match was with Alicia Fox. Oh, no, I'm not. She was in a Diva Summertime Battle Royal, and then before that, Alicia Fox.
There you go.
And one TNA appearance with Taryn Terrell.
Oh yeah.
The Knockouts Knockdown. They had a. That's right. They actually we did read to the punch. They
Whatever
had a female
happened to
pay per view.
Taryn Terrell?
Yeah, and you know what's weird? She actually like speaking of like kind of started out just a pretty face. She got like actually like decent in the ring. She had some good TNA matches,
Yeah.
and then she kind of disappeared as well. Was it? She was with Drew, right?
Yeah. Yeah. She was with Drew for a long time. They had a hard falling out. I think there was some violence that went on in that one.
Yeah, one of his first kind of pushes down off TV. Yeah, her last match was August 2017 and has not been back since anywhere wrestling.
Wow. She had a great outfit also.
Did she? I don't. That one I don't recall.
In TNA, she sure as hell did.
Oh, okay.
He's got to do his research, his professional video research.
Being professional. It's all right. I don't think anything specific about it.
Yeah. Nothing much other than an open shirt with her bra popping out the entire time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much every week. She was at the lollipop.
So, are you sure we're talking about the same person?
Taryn Terrell. Yes, the blonde.
Okay.
Dated Drew.
Yeah. Yeah.
the ECW general manager.
Yeah, that's right. Tiffany. Am I Tiffany?
Tiffany.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember in TNA, there was a moment there where she had like her own like group. Wasn't Mia Yim a part of that group? Within like another chick, and they were always dressed all like slutty, and they were like, "We're the three girls that love to party."
I'm not saying you're wrong. I think that might be a gap in my TNA.
Oh,
that might be when I didn't have that channel.
Definitely
either.
not a gap in my TNA. You don't remember Mia Yim being a part of her little group?
No, but like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong by any means. I just don't.
Just type in Taryn Terrell and Mia Yim and see what comes up. And then those outfits should be the one I'm talking about when I'm like, take a look at them. Research.
Oh, okay. I think I see maybe. Well, okay, yeah, they definitely were a group. Yeah, Marty Bell. All right, we'll talk more off the air. I think we should wrap the show up. All right, Dom,
Make sure you splice all three of these segments together since you paused it multiple times.
Oh, they'll be. I'm not editing this at all. It's going all out. Any parting words for the audience at home?
Yeah, make sure you follow me on Twitter at DX DonMega and check out my podcast, Am I on the Air? Your one-stop shop for all the latest and greatest in entertainment news, television, movies, reviews, the whole nine. Check it out, amiontheair.com. Check it out on all your favorite Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podchaser, Google Play Podcast. Check it out on all the socials.
Absolutely. Thanks for checking out Kayfabe Chaz. You can find Kayfabe Corner, where I interview fellow pro wrestlers and managers in the world of pro wrestling right here on this channel. We also do some wrestling trivia on this channel. Don, you should do some wrestling trivia.
As long as it's WWE, I'm down.
Well, some of it is. It's a mix, though. So you probably get like
I need the WWE edition.
I'll see if I can finagle that for you. Of course, our brother channel, the Pierce Co. Some fun shows in there. Show about shows, movie trivia. Don just hosted. And yeah, I'm on the air. It's always a favorite of ours as well. For DonMega, JPO, this was Kayfabe Chats. And as always, keep it kayfabe.